Chapter 1. Origin of Lizard Men. Introduction. Lizard men are one of the most ancient mythological creatures found in the legends and myths of various peoples. In this chapter, we will consider how the image of these creatures was formed, their origin and main features. Lizard men in the mythologies of Mesoamerica. One of the most famous sources about lizard men is the myths of Mesoamerica. The Mayan, Aztec, and Olmec civilizations had lizard-like creatures associated with divine powers and the underworld. For example, the god Quetzalcoatl, a feathered serpent, has signs of a reptilian nature. Connection with the underworld. In many cultures, lizard men were considered inhabitants of the underground or water worlds. They could be guardians of treasures or spirits of nature, personifying incomprehensible forces of nature. The symbolism of pangolins in world myths. In many cultures, pangolins symbolize ancient forces associated with survival and shape-shifting. Reptiles, due to their ability to shed their skin, often symbolize renewal and the cycles of life and death. Origin of the term lizard people. The image of lizard-like creatures that possess intelligence also appeared in modern myths and science fiction works, although the roots of these images stretch back to the depths of folklore. Chapter 2. Lizard men in ancient civilizations. Introduction. Lizard men are often mentioned in the myths of ancient civilizations as beings who had contact with the gods or controlled hidden forces. In this part, we will look at how these creatures influenced ancient cultures. Egyptian myths and serpent gods. In ancient Egypt, some deities, such as the goddess Wadjet, a cobra, had reptilian features. Although they were not direct lizard men, their associations with protection and magic influenced later myths about reptilian creatures. Indian mythology. Nagas. In Hinduism and Buddhism, there are Nagas, serpent-like beings who guard treasures and have a half-human, half-reptile form. They play a significant role as guardians of water and the underworld. Chinese mythology. Dragons. In Chinese culture, dragons represent wisdom, strength, and prosperity. Although dragons are not lizard men in the literal sense, their reptilian appearance has created associations with lizards as symbols of power and arcane knowledge. Native American mythology. Some Native American cultures have legends about reptilian creatures. They are associated with spiritual protectors and wisdom passed down through the generations. Chapter 3. Lizard men in medieval folklore. Introduction. In medieval folklore, lizard men begin to appear as figures representing not only power and mystery, but also danger. In this part, we will consider how they evolved in the folklore of medieval Europe, serpentine demons and dragons. In Christian legends of medieval Europe, lizard-like creatures, particularly dragons, often represented evil and chaos. The fight between the knights and the dragons symbolized the fight between good and evil. Mythical creatures and alchemy. In medieval alchemy, reptiles were important symbols of transformation and magic. There were legends about lizard people who possessed secret knowledge about the nature of metals and the ability to reincarnate. Lizard men in the folklore of Eastern Europe. In Slavic folklore, there were legends about dragons and snakes that had human features. They guarded treasures and could take human form, demonstrating the connection between reptilians and humanity. Interaction with humans. In some medieval legends, lizard men appear as mysterious and distant creatures, living apart from humans, but occasionally contacting them for benefit or knowledge. Chapter 4. Lizard men in contemporary pop culture. Introduction. Lizard men have become popular in modern culture through literature, film, and video games. Their images range from ancient creatures to highly developed aliens. In this chapter, we will explore how modern media uses the image of lizard men in fantasy. In fantasy works such as Dungeons and Dragons, lizard men are one of the playable races. They usually live in swampy regions, have a strong military culture, and often act as neutral or antagonistic characters. Fictional interpretations. In science fiction, lizard men are often depicted as aliens or creatures that evolved in parallel with humanity. For example, in such works as Stargate, they are representatives of highly developed civilizations. Film and television. Lizard men also appear in numerous films and television series. One of the famous examples is the TV series V, where lizard-like aliens disguise themselves as humans and try to take over the Earth. Reptilian conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory about the reptilians, a mysterious race of lizard people who control humanity, has become prevalent in modern culture. Although this is a fantastic idea, it has found a place in popular culture and literature.